Yeah, Antifa is fascinating, bro.
Yeah.
Antifa's part of that culture because you have a mixture in some areas, probably down where you're at. I'm sure over in California areas, you'll have a mixture of Latinos, whites, but mostly predominantly white privileged kids, that are involved in this, that are organizing this. And I'm sure we'll find out who's financing this, who's behind the scenes as things unfold. But it's just another part of the left, a more extreme version of these guilt-ridden, identityless children that have no identity, they have no mission in life. Okay, and this is what they grab a hold of, and this is what we end up with, man. You know,
Yeah, I want to start first with Portland and these cities that are on the coast because that's where it's happening at. It's not, I don't think it's just on the West Coast, although it's more known on the West Coast. I've heard of Antifa violence in Philadelphia with Candace Owens getting ran out of a restaurant. They're in DC, they're active in New York, but it starts with the mayor. It starts at the top. It's the trickle down, lawlessness from the leadership. This mayor calls for the police department to stand down and allows for Antifa to take to the streets. If the mayor allowed the police to do their job and enforce the law, that would be the end of Antifa right there. But because he's neutered them, they have to stand down. I'm pretty sure there are cops that want to do something, but they feel frustrated that the mayor's not allowing it. It's kind of like a mayor is similar to a parent or a babysitter. It's like, well, this babysitter is no nonsense, so we can't do anything. We have to go to bed in time. We have to do all these other things. But if you
yeah.
get a babysitter that's like, do whatever you want, you can have ice cream, you can swing from the chandelier. I don't care. If you're not going to enforce the rule of law, that's exactly what you get. And I haven't been able to confirm this or not, but they're planning acid balloon attacks for the 4th of July event going on in DC. This can only really happen in a city that doesn't enforce the rule of law. Trump was just down here a couple weeks ago for the rally. I remember I had a moment, I was pissed off that they wouldn't let us go and engage with the anti-Trump protesters. They built a wall of police and barricades between Trump supporters and these protesters, and I was mad. But I had a second there where I was appreciative of it because they weren't going to let anything get out of hand. Not that it would have, but they weren't going to let it get out of hand because the rule of law. Like, you're not going to get crazy in the streets. There's not going to be any violence, not on our watch. The city of Orlando wasn't going to stand for it. Now, imagine if the streets of Portland were like that. You could end the Antifa problem in one day.
They have common sense in Florida. Your police departments and your sheriff's departments aren't completely indoctrinated in this crap. Now, if you go up from we just said Portland. What's the other one up there? Seattle is the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure they thrive there, and I'm sure all the locals that call the shots. Oh, kid gloves with these kids. Let them go do their thing. Let them get it out. You know what I mean? Throw bottles of urine and whatever they want to do. But somebody's going to get hurt eventually. I could not believe the protests and whatever was going on down in the colleges in California, the bike lock incident, things like that. That girl, remember that girl got blasted with the dreadlocks? I mean, pow. That kind
Yeah.
of stuff teaches, they know better to do exactly what happened with you in Florida. They should have been doing that. I mean, Charlottesville, it's sad that they don't want to react because you're right. At the end of the day, they're their little babies over here, and they want them to keep, they don't want to stop them 100%, and it's sad, but somebody's going to get hurt. I'm calling it right now. You watch. What blows me away is watch the response of the media and the left after a Trump rally when several people chant CNN sucks, and look at what's going on in Portland. I mean, it's a madhouse. How they're responding in Portland, they're pulling police back. We've seen video footage of them literally standing a block away, watching this stuff unfold, screaming at innocent people driving by. I had one video I put up about 6 months ago. A guy was driving through downtown Portland. I mean, in the middle of the day, and this guy's dropping f bombs, calling him whitey. This dude's just driving by from out of town, and I think he had a plate that was Texas or North Carolina or something. And he started, giving him giving him crap about that, calling him racist, whatever. I mean, they're so privileged at this point. Our society right now is so privileged that we've got kids out in the streets dressed up, chasing racists that aren't there, okay, and beating up old people.
They really are spoiled, rotten, rich, suburban white kids. And I think it's interesting how what they claim to be fighting against, right? Fascism, racism, sexism, all these things, they're actually doing it. The left wants this because not only do they cheer it from the sidelines, they call for it. And social media companies, they're facilitating it. If you think about it, they're able to organize these events through social media. We've all been desensitized to violence through action movies and stuff on TV from the time we're kids. We've seen violence before, so when we see it in real life, it's almost as if we're numb to it. Andy No is an Asian son of immigrants, and he's LGBT. And this also happened during Pride Month. They're essentially the domestic terrorist arm of the far left. So when you have these politicians and media outlets calling for incivility, Antifa goes out into the streets and they actually carry out that mission. How long before somebody dies because of violence? And the left is normalizing this political violence.